Hi everybody, welcome back to our video series as we begin discussions on the number one subject that people want to know. How much does it cost? What's the price? What I thought I'd do today is we would have a quick discussion about there's 3 or 4 different pricing models that are standard in the industry. I say standard, that are typical in the industry. And what we want to do is talk about what other vendors do and what we do and why we're different. So let's just get started. Typical, the most common, is what is called a startup fee. Now, startup fee sounds kind of innocuous, but it's not really when you find out how much it is. Basically, a startup fee is an amount of money that you're going to pay basically for nothing. It's a fee. It's truly what it is. Typically, these fees run anywhere from $15,000 on the low end to $35,000 to $40,000 on the high end. Sometimes they're as high as $50,000. It depends on what you're buying and what you've asked for. So we'll just go with a median amount and we'll say $25,000 as a startup fee. Now you think that's a one-time cost, true, and that's all I have to pay ever. Well, that's not quite correct. This particular pricing model also includes a per distributor fee, and that can range anywhere from $1 per distributor to $3 to $4 per distributor. Okay, so let's go with a median price of say $2 per distributor. Now, what this means is that for every active person in your system, they're going to charge you $2. So if you have 100 active people, it's $200. Okay, that still doesn't sound too bad. But if you have 1,000 people, now all of a sudden it's $2,000. And if you have 5,000 people, now all of a sudden it's $10,000. This is a monthly charge, folks. It's not a one-time cost. This is every month. So as your company grows, your costs are going to grow exponentially. Because all of us know this is your monthly cost. This is where you start. You pay your startup fee. So that's a one-time cost of $25K. And then your monthly cost when you first start is going to be real low because you haven't got anybody enrolled yet. But once they start enrolling, yeah, you don't have to pay this again. But now, let's say here, you had to pay $1,000. And then here, you had to pay $5,000. And then here, you have to pay $10,000. You can see very quickly your company is doing really well, but your costs are uncapped. They're not going to stop charging you as you grow. So there's different features of this type of setup that you can negotiate a cap. And if you end up with something like this, you're not getting this from us. But if you go with a vendor that does this, negotiate a cap, because there's no reason they should continue to hammer you for more and more money just because you're growing. That's the whole point, right? So, but we don't stop here, folks. There's also, typically there's a hosting fee. This is also a monthly charge, and it can vary anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month. Typical is around $1,000. So let's just put that on there too. Now that fee won't go up unless they have a price increase. This is where the danger point is right here. You go from, I paid $25,000 to set up, and remember, $2 is just kind of the average. This can be $3, $4, $5 per distributor, depending on what deal you work out. Then you have $1,000 on top of that. It adds up very quickly. This is not the end of it either. Some of these companies that have this pricing model will also have a transaction fee. Now, what is a transaction fee? For every order processed through the system, there will be some fee associated with that. Now, everybody doesn't do this, but there are some that do. So you need to ask this question because it'll be in your contract. Typically, it might be $2.50 an order. And the reason they charge this is because this fee only applies to members and distributors. This fee would apply to customer orders. Now, depending on what your profit margin is on an order, this could really start cutting into your profit as well as this. okay? So you have to take all of this into account. And what is your annualized cost going to be? What do you think your growth is going to be over a year? You have to not only look at this $25,000, but you also have to look at what is my projected growth? Well, nobody's going to say that they're not going to grow. You know, you need to plan on growing to 1,000 to 2,000 distributors your first year. And then figure that cost and average everything over the course of a year. You're going to end up paying between this, and this. You may end up paying $5,000, $6,000 a month. Okay, it's a very expensive model. So, what's the alternative? Because I know what you're all thinking right now. This sucks. So I agree with you. That's why we don't do it. So let's get to some other models.